Hi everybody, it's Harvard Lawyer Lee. Let's talk body language today. We are seeing some incredible body language, lots of lessons you can learn from Amber Heard's testimony in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial. I want to jump right into some video and talk to you about what to look for. We're going to divide this into 4 sections. Each one I'm going to say, look for this. The most interesting stuff is at the very end. Do not miss that. There's some amazing body language at the end. So when we start off, I played a little clip of Amber talking about something she clearly felt very comfortable with. You can see that her sentences are long, they're structured sentences, she's very coherent, and her body language is fairly calm. She's talking, in just a regular way. Then as we go through the clip, you'll begin to see what you're going to see more and more of in the next clips. You begin to see her become more chaotic and her body language starts to take over. You'll see, for example, her lips and her mouth going and moving a lot. The lip motions are one of the hardest body language factors to control. So when we see that, we know that that is probably not under the person's control. It can be a sign of deception. So it's important to notice when those happen. I also want you to notice Johnny Depp. The part of the clip shows him too. I want you to notice when he leans down all the time, but you can see from time to time through these videos, when he strongly disagrees with something, you will see his brow furrow heavily. He'll often start to raise his head and then he won't, but you'll see his brow furrow heavily, and that's a sign. It's sort of like for Johnny, as if he's saying, what? What? She said, what? So you can sort of see that in the body language. So let's get started with our first clip.
And I asked him about the tattoo he has on his arm. And to me, it just looked like black marks. I didn't know what it said. It just looked like muddled, faded tattoo that was hard to read. And I said, what does it say? And he said it says wino. It says wino. And I didn't see that. I thought he was joking because it didn't look like it said that at all. And I laughed. It was that simple. I just laughed because I thought he was joking. And slapped me across the face. And I laughed.
In this next segment, I want you to take a look. For Johnny, I want you to watch for the furrowed brow, for the starts of when he starts to raise his head more than once. I also want you to notice there's one time when he furrows his brow and she talks some more, and the next thing you know, the eyebrows shoot way up over his glasses, and you can tell he's really reacting to that. It seems to be a very natural reaction, saying that this is not what he expected in terms of testimony from her. And then I also take a look when he takes his glasses off and touches them to his face, because that's a sign, just like for the same reason we blush, that blood comes to our facial area, that can be a sign of real stress and anxiety. It doesn't mean any kind of deception, but it does mean he's under stress. And then with Amber, I want you to take a look at the increasing level of drama in what she's talking about. And, many people have said she wasn't very believable. I want you to think about why that is as you watch her. Notice some things like the fact that even as she's talking about very difficult things, her head is usually up, very confident. She's not looking down. She's not ashamed or embarrassed. I also want you to notice how her sentences become shorter, less of a story, and you're going to see that more. You've got to stick around for the next segment, because that is one that really shows where you really see the change in the way she testifies. That's why I laid these out. There's a segment, for example, where she turns her head and you see her mouth kind of move. I'm talking about extraneous motions like that. Motions where it's not something natural because the person is just talking. It's something that is extra, and it often can indicate deception. That's one thing it could be. All right, let's get started.
I laughed because I didn't know what else to do. I thought, this must be a joke. This must be a joke. because I didn't know what was going on. I just stared at him, kind of laughing still, thinking that he was going to start laughing too to tell me it was a joke, but he didn't. He said, "You think it's so funny?" It's not me again. Like, it wasn't clear. It wasn't a joke anymore. And he slaps me one more time. Hard. I lose my balance. At this point, we're sitting next to each other on the edge of the couch, or I was on the edge of the couch. And I'm all of a sudden realizing that the worst thing has just happened to me that could possibly happen to you. I realized that I wish so much he had said he was joking, because it didn't hurt. It didn't physically hurt me. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet, wondering how I wound up on this carpet and why I never noticed that the carpet was so filthy before, and I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react. I just sat there thinking, how much time do I have to figure out what I need to do? Because God, did he just... No, I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want this to be the reality. I didn't want to have the man I was in love with. I know you don't come back from that. You know, I'm not dumb. I can't just hit somebody because I knew it was wrong, and I knew that I had to leave him. And that's what broke my heart, because I didn't want to leave him. I thought if I got up out of that room, I would leave the best thing that ever happened to me. And I wish I could sit here and say I still...
In this third section, which I think probably is the most important of all, I'm glad you stuck around for this. There are three things I want you to look for. The first one is how Amber's sentences, which initially, if you'll remember, were coherent, full sentences, have suddenly become very choppy. She struggles for words sometimes, and she moves from subject to subject. She really seems to be having a hard time. That too can be a sign of deception. Possible that that's what it's a sign of. Then the second thing I want you to notice is the way Johnny rears back at one point. That can be a sign that someone is rejecting what is said. Third thing I want you to notice is the mouth movement, the very pronounced mouth movement that you see from Amber at the end. So I'll roll the clip, but first I want to say thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Come back. We're going to be doing this all week with Amber's testimony and with other testimony. See you in the next video. Here's the clip.
His eyes, he gets down on his knees and he grabs my hands and he's touching my hands and he's saying to me, "I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, baby. I put it away. I thought I killed it, and it's done. I thought I put the monster away, and I've done it before. It's done." But on his knees, and I didn't have words. I didn't know what to say. I just remember thinking that it was just, he was crying. He seemed so sorry, but I knew I couldn't just forgive him because right? That means it will happen again, no? You know, like I've seen the health class videos, like everyone else. And I got up in my car, I walked to the car, I didn't say no.